The Jacksonville Jaguars were not playing around this offseason as they completed a crazy blockbuster trade to essentially send 2 first-round picks over to the Cleveland Browns to trade up from 5 to 2 to take who they feel is a franchise wide receiver to pair up with Brian Thomas Jr., who had an unbelievable rookie year in Travis Hunter. I get the vision, right? When you're the Jaguars, it is scary trading a first-round pick because this team at any given time seems like they're a top 10 drafting team. And obviously, straight up giving up that second-round pick, which was basically a first-round pick because of how high it was, is a lot of capital. But when you look at this team, now I get it, it's not an old franchise, but when you look at Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, there is a very high chance these two are number 1 and 2 for their all-time receiving yards guys. That is how special these guys can be together. And when you think you can complete your skill positions, at least on offense, I think you take that risk, and that's exactly what they did. Of course, they are going to need to work on that offensive line. I know they drafted Millam, but they're going to need to put a lot more capital into this O-line in the future, and I think that's obviously going to be the plan going forward. They're not completely screwed, right? They lose that first-round pick, but I believe they have an extra third, an extra fourth, maybe even a couple of extra sixth and sevenths, if I'm not mistaken, and Brenton Strange showed some promise. ETN, you're hoping, especially with an elite pass attack, can get back to that elite level, and then they also take Tootin, who I don't know how to explain it. It's probably just because he's a shorter guy, but he just glides. Like when you watch him, he doesn't really. I can't explain it. It's like he looks fast, but he doesn't look as fast as he is. Like it's like, oh, he's pretty fast. Oh wait, where he's gone? Oh wait, what happened? He's gone. You know, he just glides. He just moves, super speedy. A guy that I'm definitely going to be targeting in Madden franchise. And I mean, this team's got really good running backs in general. Bigsby's a solid back as well. I'm not really sure how they're going to use all three, but I don't know if that's really necessarily a bad problem to have. And then, of course, you move on to the defensive side of the ball where things aren't much better. Their actual statistics for pass rush win percentage is a lot worse than your numbers you would assume, right? You're like looking at the sack numbers, you're like, oh, they're not terrible, actually. Obviously, Josh Hines-Allen's great, and Trayvon Walker's pretty good, but, you know, the DT is definitely not helping the case any. You got some injury concerns there, too, at the backups. Eric Armstead's always going to put in, you know, solid starter, veteran presence, but they definitely need some work on the D-line, DT specifically. Linebackers, they got a pretty good unit, right? Oluwakun's obviously that kind of do-it-all, best coverage guy they've got, and then Lloyd, not quite good in coverage, but anything near the line of scrimmage, even on the line of scrimmage, is going to be elite. He's elite, straight up. 85 overall. I guess that does him justice. It's fair. I was going to say it doesn't do him justice. It does. And, of course, safeties. I'm going to put Ransaw at free safety. I think he fits better there. And, of course, for our needs, fits better there. I know they have Savage now, but as a Packers fan, don't do it. Just don't. Antonio Johnson, I mean, he hasn't really shown much in real life, but as a pretty good Madden player, right? 6'3", 88 speed, some zone, some hit power. I'm going to give him a chance to start. In the past, he's gotten star for us. He hasn't been elite, but maybe this will be the one where he actually is elite. Tyson Campbell, will he, won't he? It's kind of been the case with him and guys like Greg Newsome. I always kind of correlate those guys together because they kind of have similar builds. And then, of course, the big thing for this rebuild specifically, which I don't think is happening in real life, other than maybe some situational things. Maybe it's a third down they really need it, or there's injury concerns at the cornerback spot during the year. We've got Travis Hunter at cornerback. We're going to have him at wide receiver and cornerback in this one, just as like a unique kind of rebuild situation. I actually have the exact ratings that he has for this roster, but at cornerback. These are the ratings that the wide receiver version of him also possesses. So he goes up 3 overalls at cornerback, which I suppose is fair. It's all right. It's fair enough. And yeah, of course, with a guy that can play both sides of the ball, no matter what you think, yes, superstar X Factor. Doesn't matter. It kind of reminds me of, Tariq Cohen. Was he quite deserving of superstar, for his actual play, his position? Probably not, but what he did with the ball in his hands, especially as a return man and just breaking tackles, yeah, he's a superstar. And I think it's pretty hard to argue that he's not an X Factor, Travis Hunter. So X Factor, both sides of the ball. It's going to give us a little bit of an advantage, but at the same time, like I said, it would be surprising to see him not at least play a little bit of cornerback at the pro level. We'll see what happens. Super interesting. I mean, that's another factor of them going for Travis Hunter, is it's also another guy that's going to get more eyes on their games, right? Like, how many people are not interested in the Jaguars are going to at least watch the first game or parts of the first game to see, wait, is Travis Hunter really going to play corner? tell me there's not going to be at least a good amount, right? It's that aspect's also worth it. Which, speaking of worth it, I think it'd be worth it to you if you left a like if you ended up enjoying the video, but more importantly, if you subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise stuff on the channel. Finally got that relocation franchise going, so check that out. Our Chupacabras 32 team builder relocation fantasy draft franchise. And also, while you're down there in the comment section below, let me know what team you want to see next. Let's get into this rebuild, see if we can win ourselves a Super Bowl ring. Does that technically mean that Travis Hunter gets 2 Super Bowl rings? I'm just asking. And yes, we do have some of the other, guys they got in the 4th and 6th round and whatnot, and maybe they play a real factor in real life, but in Madden, it's going to be pretty unlikely. We see it almost every single year. That's how it plays out. Until they actually look good in real life, the early roster usages is pretty much non-existent for anyone past the 3rd round. Besides running back, Tootin, where we're not going to, put some respect on his name. Also, one thing I got to get better at is actually showing you guys all the rookies, because I've seen these classes a million times now, and, for me, it's like, oh, I already know what the ratings are going to be like, but I keep forgetting that, you guys probably haven't seen them all the time or many times, so I need to show them. Too late to do that now because, yeah, you could see we had an amazing season, 14-3. We kept the offensive scheme of the Jaguars, but we did have to change the defensive scheme because for some reason they're not in a 4-3. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll show you guys the season we just had. Not a great start, right? 3-3. It's like, okay, maybe we'll have like a 9-8 season, 10-7 season, maybe. Who knows? Maybe we make the playoffs. After that loss, though, to the Bears. No losses for the rest of the year. It was an amazing year, and because of it, we're in the playoffs. A little surprised you didn't get the bye week, though. Tell me it's not the Chiefs. It's the damn Chiefs. Oh, it's not even just the Chiefs and the Ravens. I hate the AFC side. I hate it. They're too good. Looking at the quarterback numbers, Trevor Lawrence, 34 touchdowns, 8 picks, just under 4,000 yards. Looking like, Packers sim numbers. ETN, 12 touchdowns, 1,349 yards. Really hoping he can go up in dev. What's his overall after a year like that? 85, so what, 2 to 3 overalls up, which is pretty good, but it is also a very elite season, so expected, maybe even expected more. Receiving numbers, I think you could live with that as the Jaguars. Travis Hunter, 991 with 11 touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr., 1078 with 6 touchdowns. Strange, 844 with 10 touchdowns. Pretty good season there. Should go to star, right? Should go to star. Blocking offensive line-wise, actually really good. Defense, look at Hines Allen, 20 sacks. Wish it was Trayvon Walker, though, because he, of course, still is star dev, whereas Hines Allen's already an X-Factor. DTs were kind of mid, but Smith did have a lot of tackles for loss. So did Armstead. Yeah, Armstead was pretty good, but Smith could still go up and dev just because of the tackles for a loss alone. Aluakun with 5 picks. 3 picks for Ransaw. Okay, 2 for Muma, Campbell, and Hunter. So Travis Hunter, 2 interceptions, 62 tackles, a tackle for a loss, 5 deflections, with just about 1,000 yards on offense, 11 touchdowns. That's Rookie of the Year. It has to be Rookie of the Year, but yeah, technically it's 2 different players in this one. Cam Little misses 6 kicks out of 29, which isn't great, but it's for Madden, it's understandable. 2 of those were blocked on top of it. Punting just under 50, which we don't love, but we can live with it. Travis Hunter also had 238 yards in the punt return game. He would just be dead by the end of each game. MVP, we had Lawrence at 9. Mahomes does win it, though. As far as the other awards, Travis Hunter, number 2 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. That sucks. Obviously, as far as like real rookies goes, he's the only one because Bo Nix was technically last year. Defense Rookie of the Year, Ransaw, number 2. Mason Smith, number 5. Travis Hunter, number 9. 9 and 2 equals 11. And 11 is 2 ones. That means he won Offensive Defensive Rookie of the Year. You see where that stretch came from? Yeah, it's factual. It has to. No other coincidence. Lawrence, number 5 for QB. Running back, number 5 for ETN. Wide receiver, number 10 for Travis Hunter because of those touchdowns. O-line, no. D-line, number 2. Surprisingly, Joey Bosa is still doing it at a crazy high level. Looking at the linebackers, we have nobody. DBs, we have nobody. Kickers, we have nobody. However, though, we are in the playoffs. You know what? I don't normally look at this. Is this anything worth? I'm pretty sure I stopped looking at it because it's kind of useless, right? They're like, who's going to be the sneaky guy? Oh, crap. Maybe this is actually going to be good. Let's go talk to her. Oh, my God, dude. Because normally it's like, who's going to be like the secret weapon? It's like the 4th string backup long snapper tight end or the 3rd string quarterback who has one good eye left. And then this one's usually like you get +1. Let's see what it is. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good, actually. Your offensive line gets a 5 to pass block finesse for the next game. Okay, maybe I need to actually click on those going forward. Okay, maybe I'm selling. Here we are, taking on the Bengals. Not an easy team. Got a really good quarterback, really good offense in general. It's kind of the battle of the offenses. Defensively, with Travis Hunter now on the team, I would argue our defense is also better. So we are the better team, I think. It's just they have a little bit more talent on said offense, right? Their receivers are technically better. Their quarterback is definitely better. Their offensive line, probably equal. But yeah, I mean, this is looking like a really close game, so say what you will. But we are giving them a fight. Even though, you know, we are the better team, we should be playing better. It is still like, you know, we're the Jaguars. We expect to be bad. And 4th and goal at the 2, they don't get it. If the offense drives down for a touchdown, which they literally are running the ball out like they're the ones winning, they would actually, you know, win this game. Unfortunately, though, like I said, what I said is factual. Not sure why. There goes Thomas. And did he get out of... He doesn't get out of bounds because somehow their cornerback, who is only looking at the guy directly across from him, I can't look at the play, somehow sees the other guy open behind him while he's literally not even looking. Oh, wow, and we're just leaving the game. Okay. That was quick. They just wanted us out of there. Let's actually take a look at the box score now that we're not like just forced out. Both quarterbacks, not their best work. Trevor Lawrence was better. Rushing-wise, ETN was better. Offense in general for us was better. We just didn't finish enough drives. Josh Hines-Allen with 2.5 sacks. I mean, even the defense was better. I mean, I don't really know how we lost. I guess that field goal didn't help anything, did it? Field goal definitely did not help, but ultimately we just didn't finish drives as well as they did, and because of that, we're already going home, even though we were already at home. I guess we're staying home. Yeah, the Ravens versus the Packers in the Super Bowl. I really wonder how far the Chiefs got, and the winner is the Ravens, so yeah, not great. Not great there. Lamar Jackson is the MVP of the Super Bowl. Curious to see... Oh, you can't even look at the... Can you look at the standings? Is it the standings? It's not the standings. I thought it was the playoff schedule. Let's take a look, though, at the actual playoff schedule itself, because I can't find... Oh, here's the playoff picture. The Chiefs did actually go. So number 1 and 2 seed versus the number 1 and 3 seed. Chiefs lose by 6 and go to the Super Bowl, of course. How well did the Bengals play? Wow, they got cooked 35-14. So we lost 24-20 to a team that lost 35-14, who then lost their next game. So we're like the very worst of the playoff teams for the most part, despite going 14-3. Either way, though, DevUps, hoping for a DevUp for Strange and ETN. Maybe Lawrence, but at least those two. Those are the ones I'd almost guarantee, and exactly what we thought. Unfortunately, quarterback doesn't go up, but he's an 81 overall. He had a great year, plus 5, 6, maybe even 7 up. Well, technically 6 with the training camp. 6 upgrades throughout the season. Star dev for Brenton Strange, who's a 79 overall now, which is pretty good. It's not bad at all. He obviously had a great season, probably a top 10 tight end season. ETN, speaking of top 23 for him now, and then huge is that he is a superstar. So 85 overall superstar. He's kind of getting back to his kind of original status. Not bad in general, but yeah, back to his original status. Travis Hunter after year 1, 85 overall. Looks really good, balanced route running across the board, solid catching, and, elusive as they come, solid speed and whatnot. Let's take a look at the defense, where it could see some dev-ups. Aluakun goes to X Factor. It's pretty big. Ransaw goes to Star. Maybe, I wouldn't say bigger, because Aluakun is an older player, but it's nice to see a safety go up in dev, because we usually struggle to develop those guys. But Aluakun, massive. He's 30 years old now. Regression is going to be pretty prevalent, but because of that X Factor, I don't think he went down in overall at all, where normally he probably would have. Superstar's still pretty good, but X Factor is next level for trying to avoid regression. Unfortunately, no dev up for Smith or Walker. Not that we expected it, but maybe with the tackles for a loss, Walker, Smith maybe, but yeah, unfortunately did not get it. Got our new message. See what we're looking like. Probably going to be offense, Travis Etienne. And now it's going to be Lawrence, who definitely is going to get that nod. For the contracts, we got a lot of money, but for the contracts, we have 5th-year options. Lloyd is an absolute yes for the 5th-year option. And Trayvon Walker I think will not be. 13 mil is not bad at all, but he also does have interest in re-signing. I'd rather just straight up re-sign him than do the 5th year. Whereas Lloyd, it might not really matter because he's an outside linebacker, and we usually just don't afford those guys, so we'll see what happens. Looking at free agency, Bobby Wagner could be a pretty big get for us. Like, this guy could completely round out and finish out our linebacker room. And honestly, do you not, like, cut the corners and take, like, Jimmy Ward as your safety as well? Like, this is a team that I would have never thought of, but as a win-now team, our roster is missing a few pieces, but overall, this, I mean, other than the offensive line, which we're going to go heavy on, we don't have many needs. We do get both of the veterans, Bobby Wagner and Jimmy Ward. All right, so we are in the draft, and of course, without a first-round pick, our very highest pick is 24. I think we also have another pick in there as well. There are some decent players. Harold Red, one of them, a round oneer. Good block shed, not so great power move. One of those guys that's either normal or star, no in-betweens, no higher. And then, of course, I scouted some other DTs, and 3 to 4s aren't the end of the world, but yeah, it does suck that they are 3 to 4. I also found what might quite possibly be the greatest gem ever. Juan Ross, great speed, great excel, well, elite excel, A-catch, A-man, A-zone coverage. He's unbelievable. He could be a choice that maybe moves Tyson to safety. I mean, there's some other safeties in here as well, like Carlisle, who looks pretty good, but he's not that fast. And there's some other players like, let's see, not just Carlisle. Who was it, actually? Was it Barrington? I think it was Barrington. Nelson Barrington, A-man coverage, C-zone. I mean, there's some options. I really do like Red. So do we trade up to like 10? I mean, I don't know if I do like him. I'm just gonna move to 24. We don't have that many picks. We need a lot of linemen, and the 2 guys that I talked about the most that I wanted aren't even linemen, you know? I don't know what I can do with that. So let's see what we got. Maybe Red's still here anyways. He is unfortunately not. First pick, I think, has to be Ross. He looks insane. A's 21 years old. He's just insane. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Now, will he be hidden is the question. I would say normal or star, and you do get hidden. So maybe star dev. I mean, at least star dev at the minimum, which is nice. Need a lot of linemen. Need a DT, though, so we're definitely going to, hope that this Newton Day 3 guy is solid. And then, we definitely want Davidson, but the other guys, they're later days as well. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull much of this off. I mean, I think we get 1 DT, if that. Maybe we just rock with who we have anyways. Linebacker, obviously not a big problem, and, kind of went hard on the safety/corner to get a new safety, and I think that corner is going to be kind of what does it. I don't think we could trade up much. I'm going to have a tough time trading up from 24. Doing it from 13 just seems like a waste. And we do have Davidson. Okay, so you have Davidson, which is great. Terrell Davidson, he's going to hopefully be one of our starting linemen. 35 true. Not a great start to the lineman hunt, I'll tell you that much. We're now at 24, where we have a choice between 2 different DTs. I think Porter was slightly better, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he looks just a little bit better. So Caleb Porter's going to be our guy. Obviously, great finesse, fast, all that good stuff. Caleb Porter, 84 true talent. Damn, dude, I really thought we were going to get hit in there. That corner's great, but yeah, the rest, not the best. Might be trading up here with the Titans to land the center, Matt Newton. We trade a little 6th-round pick to move up about 12 spots, which I think is perfectly fine to do so. And with that, we are going to be selecting Matt Newton. I think he's a little undersized for a tackle, but I think he's also too tall for a center, but whatever works is whatever works. He might be our right tackle. And he's heading. All right. He's definitely better than the other lineman we took. And I'm going to end up taking a 1-2, 4.44 40 time. He doesn't look great, but he's fast, and he's a 1-2. 121 true. That's not bad for a 4th-round pick. It's literally a 4th round. Like, he's pretty much projected exactly where we took him. The rest of the picks, though, I think, unless you go special teamers, we're probably going to trade it down. We don't even have a 6 because of that trade up. So we'll trade this and then maybe take like a fullback or something, or a kicker, punter, something. All right, let's take a look at the draft recap. We ended up trading our... he's pretty good. Maybe he is going to be higher than star. We ended up trading our 5th and 7th this year to get a 5th, 6th, and 7th next year through 2 different trades, which, I mean, isn't a crazy gain, but it's something. But Juan Ross, I mean, this is our corner, too. He's sitting right next to Travis Hunter. course, he has a low injury, which I still think is just glitched. It's like 37 injury is just guaranteed failure. Superstar dev, okay. Which I get it. Some players in the NFL, wow, these numbers suck. 17. Okay, so we're going to have to change some of these numbers. Like, what even is this? 45 at corner is insane work. But, yeah, we're pretty good at corner, I'll tell you that much. But, yeah, the injury of 37, like, how do you actually ever develop? I get it. Some players, they are doomed to fail because of, some injury they aren't even aware of, or just injuries that aren't going to get any better at the pro level. Caleb Porter, super raw, but he's got good finesse. I'm curious to see the other DT. We probably sold that. But 50-50 shot. What can you do? Matt Newton. I'm not even once again sure what position we need here. I guess right tackle. Right? Harrison's not the biggest positional need. I should have checked his dev while we were there. But this guy fits a little bit better as a tackle, I think. Cologne. A little bit, better than I would have expected at 69. I probably would have thought 67, 68. But let's take a look at that defensive tackle, I suppose. And honestly, that's about it. Don't need to look at anything else. Everyone else we just didn't have a chance at. Was it Grant? It was Grant. 71 overall with the Packers. Nope. Also normal dev. Arguably better, right? A little bit stronger, I think. A little bit better finesse. We trade Tank Bigsby off to the Commanders for a third-round pick. They offered me like a 78 overall young-ish wide receiver and a fifth-round pick, so I felt like a third's fair. They took it. All right, here we are for season number 2. Didn't really do as much for the offensive line as we were hoping we would, but 2 new starters, 1 more long-term in Newton is progress, I guess. The team does look pretty good, though. The wide receivers are great. Running back solid with that superstar dev up. Massive. Trevor Lawrence an 83 overall. Strange is an 80 overall with star. Defensively, linebacker, Bobby Wagner's an 87 overall when put out at outside linebacker. Obviously, he's going to be sort of a one-year guy. But linebackers obviously look great. D-line still needs work. DT still needs work. We still just got to improve the trenches mainly. Campbell drops down to a 79 at strong safety, but he's got really good zone coverage, so I think it makes the most sense as Ross is way too good to be corner 3. $69 million. Oh, we made the right call with Trayvon Walker. Look at how cheap he is here. A 6-year 75 is theft. Travis Etienne, he's asking for, what is that, $8 million a year. Probably need to bump that to 8.3. We'll do a 4-year. Might need, no, actually not. I was about to say might need to go even higher, but no, he didn't. Muma, Brown, yeah, all these guys are going to be gone. Maybe Wagner stays if he doesn't retire, but everyone else, oh man, at that price, yeah, I think he will actually. But yeah, everyone else is gone. Not as good of a season as last year, but I think we're in even if we lose, and yes, we are. Ironically enough, we lose to the team that probably misses the playoffs if not for winning against us. Well, maybe not probably because there's a couple of 8 and 9s here, but I'm glad that the Ravens and Chiefs decided to continue playing really well because I would have been really disappointed if we had another really, good year. We miss out having a really good year and, the whole division and conferences are bad because this conference actually kind of playing bad, right? Like 2 8 and 9 teams made the playoffs, to put in perspective. And then another that's 9 and 8, like we said, with the Bills. Of course, we're the 4th seed at 10 and 7. 14 and 3. We could have maybe had the bye week. Who knows? But, we make the playoffs. That's all that really matters. Once you're in, anything can happen. Let's take a look at those win-losses. Just a lot of win-loss, win-loss. I mean, it's kind of how it happens when you only go 10 and 7. A lot of, streaks. We lose 1, we win 2. We lose 2, we win 2. We lose 1, we win 3. We lose 1, we win 3. We lose 2. It's not like, it's basically 2-game losing and winning streaks throughout the entire season for the most part. But let's take a look at the numbers. Trevor Lawrence, yeah, we might need to change scheme because even the running numbers are kind of bad. We gave the Jaguars scheme 2 seasons. We got to the playoffs both seasons, but this one specifically, I'm not really loving the numbers. Trayvon Walker with 12 sacks, hopefully gets the dev up. Hines Ward 8.5, way worse than last year. Armstead 7, Porter 4.5. Not loving the numbers on really both sides of the ball. Cam Little's played well. Cook, way better than last year for sure. Yearly awards, Mahomes is the MVP. Any awards for us? Defensive Rookie of the Year, we're number 3. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I don't even think we started anybody. QB at 5. Running back at 7. Wide receiver, no. O-line, no. D-line at number 7 and 9. Linebacker, no. Kicker, or DB, no. Kicker at 3. But another playoff trip. See if we can actually get past the first round this time. We just lost to the Bills, so they can obviously beat us. Still, only an 84 overall, though. All right, end of the game. Buffalo, once again, they beat us 7-0, 7-3. Not looking great. Had a chance there to score. Thankfully, they didn't. We take the 3-point lead right before half. They get a lead, but they do not get the extra point. It seems like they missed one. 13-10. I mean, defense is giving this team so many opportunities, and the offense is just struggling. 3rd and 1, and they get sacked. Why are you even throwing the ball on 3rd and 1? I would just run the ball multiple times. And if I don't get it, well, it wasn't meant to be. Little predetermined, I'll be honest with you. He holds on to the 23-yard line. What a throw. 0 touchdowns, 1 pick for 300 yards. That is just an offense that can't finish. Similar to last year, but even worse this year. I mean, I guess you kick the field goal. You go back like a 4 million yards out there. I mean, the defense. Wait, was that not? No, it wasn't. Well, it's a 3-point game with 1 timeout. This offense, man. I mean, like, this is the side that should be good. And they're not. They're horrible. And, of course, Trevor Lawrence misses the throw. Is that a me thing? Maybe it's a me thing. To be fair, you usually get that kind of release when you're that far drop. But if we're not that far drop, we're also just not getting the time to throw the ball. Come on, it's only a field goal. We can do this. Travis Hunter's streak because he's really good. Thomas on that out we're hoping for. And, I mean, that's definitely pass interference, but we'll take the first down. Corner strike. We're going to hope that Travis Hunter wins that route. And he will. Goes out of bounds to 34. We still have a timeout, mind you. And then the first thing to do when you're 51 yards out on a field goal, from the AI's point of view, is to run the ball. Yeah, let's make it... Oh, my. We can do better. We can still do better. Trevor Lawrence going to roll out and pick up plenty of yards to make this a pretty chip-shotty field goal. All right, 38 yards away. I mean, that was a really good drive. Let's see if the AI's going to hit it. They do. Overtime, we get the stop. Offense just needs to put up any points. They do the classic get sacked 45 times thing. The offense is literally like they were punted into a score, and they still barely scored. This team's cooked. It's the playbook. It has to be. It has to be. I mean, how can you put up all these yards and just not score? Like, the offensive line isn't great, so it's either the playbooks or it's the offensive line. And that's also Cam Little missing 2 field goals, to be fair. But still, can we do a little better, please? The division round, who we taking on? The Broncos. We're going to keep the Jaguars playbook on for this season, though. 8-9, by the way. Oh, if we lose this one. Going to keep the Jaguars on for this season, but yeah, unless we win a Super Bowl, we are switching them off. All right, come on. Denver does have a good defense, so we got to be careful. 7-3. If the Denver defense is the one that we do well against, because before the season started, EA just assumed the Broncos are going to suck, which so far seems to be kind of the case. I don't know what I'm going to do. I was going to say I'm going to riot or something, but that's not going to be the case. I will say 17 points isn't a lot of points. 17-12. Our defense played really well in that one. Really good first half, and I don't know if we scored in the second half. We scored a field goal, and that was it. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I don't get it. But Trevor Lawrence was elite. Just didn't have a lot of touchdowns. Scoring, man. It's just like we can move up and down the field pretty consistently, but we definitely cannot score consistently. That's for sure. To the AFC Championship round, where we, of course, are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, 14-3. Arguably stole our bye week last year. I guess the Ravens were next up anyway, so it didn't really matter, but still, I'm going to blame them anyways. Here we go. Looks like right to left is the Chiefs. We got the stop, then we did nothing with it. They get a stop, they get a touchdown, they get a stop, they get a touchdown, they get a stop, they get a touchdown. We finally score a touchdown, they get a stop. Well, they don't get a stop, they just have a really long drive. Second half, 14-28. It's not over, but it doesn't look good. Down 21, down 14, got a stop, no score, got a stop. Gets the score, 5 minutes left. The game is not over. 2nd and 18, 3rd and 18. And of course, 3rd and 18, game potentially not even on the line, but you give the chance to the other team a penalty. Oh, I'm sure. And of course, they do punt it after getting stopped. The hell happened there? A 3-yard loss. 4th and 3, you need to get this drive. I mean, we'll get down the field here. The problem is, yes, we can get the team in there goes 25 seconds when we move 10 yards on the field. EA, please relinquish the rights to someone else. We don't ask for much around here. It's a good throw, good foot tap. Trevor Lawrence is having a great game. Unfortunately, we're just going to completely run out of time because apparently it takes 30 seconds to move 10 yards from where you just got stopped. Trying to buy some time. Tight end's open. He's behind the defense a little bit. We're going to get down the field. All right, down to the 12. Okay, last play. That is an insane gainer. I mean, strong flood's not a bad play call. It's just not. Post for Strange. They are playing outside on Thomas. This looks like zone. I mean, I can't tell, but it looks like zone. That's a force. Oh! Did he not get the feet? There's no way! Oh! They're not going to show it either, are they? They will show it. Okay, fair enough. I was about to completely roast EA. Strange. I didn't think he was that open. Travis Hunter, he's not open. Thomas isn't open either, but he's the best receiver, and he's the tallest, and he's in a one-on-one. Everyone else is in, one-on-two, one-on-three situations. What is it? Left, right is just that close. It is literally that close. Of course, leave it to the freaking refs to play ref ball. What a hell of a performance between the two QBs, though. 9 touchdowns, 700 yards, 0 turnovers. I mean, Worthy fumbled, but other than that, Thomas had a great game. Could you imagine he would have had 5 touchdowns there to clutch it up? If they would have won that game with a touchdown there to Thomas, that'd be the greatest receiving performance in NFL history. Not even just playoff history, NFL history. And there's been some guys that have put up way more yards than that. But just the gravity of the game, the gravity of the situation and all that, it would be. And that many touchdowns on top of it, I mean, that it just would be, simply put. I don't care what anyone says, especially modern NFL. Well, I say especially modern NFL as if it's not easier to play receiver nowadays than ever before. But, yeah, I mean, so close yet so far away. It's a hell of a run there to the championship round. It's a good start for year 2, but there was a chance there, right? The Lions win the Super Bowl. Normally, I'd be like, hey, at least it's someone new, but that also means that we weren't even the second best team, technically, right? Looking at the offense, no dev-ups, unfortunately. Then we move on to the defensive side, where we see no dev-ups here either, I don't think, right? Not a single dev-up here either, which is disappointing. Bobby Wagner also retires, which sucks, but yeah, Trayvon Walker doesn't even dev up, which is unfortunate. Newton happened to be a star dev. Davidson's actually not a bad overall, so if you even want to say we need anyone, it would be a left tackle, which maybe we can get in free agency. I don't know, but team actually looks pretty good for a year 2 roster heading on to year 3. Just a little more in the trenches, especially the defensive tackle position, and I think we'll be fine. In case you want confirmation on Bobby Wagner, who I would have re-signed again if he would have been, even 82 plus. There you go, Bobby Wagner and Andy Dalton retiring. Looking at our contracts, we do have a little bit more money shown as well, so probably can get a little more risky in free agency if we want, at least on a 1 or a 2 year contract. I was going to just go to the free agency period, but yeah, let's actually get Logan Cook back. We'll do a 2 year. He's been Logan cooking. Free agency, you could go Rasheed Walker. I'm not even sure how well he's played, but 84 overall. I mean, I wish he was a little bit higher than that. Walker Little has played well, but I feel like he could still do better, right? He's not the best of overall, so you definitely want to improve, but is Walker that guy for the price? If I can get him on a 2 year deal, I'll do it, but I think for a 3 year, I want to protect the team a little bit better than that, and I don't think I can do that if I do more than 2 years. And we did try to get him on a 2 year deal. We were one of the 4 teams that had a 4-bar interest, but he ended up chasing the money a little bit more, and I don't blame him. It's a pretty sick contract. It is draft time, my dudes, and we have a couple of defensive tackles we could use realistically too, but there's no way we're going to pull that off. Round 1 talent from a 2 to 3 projection is good enough for me, so we're just going to move down to pick 30, which if he's a 2 to 3, he should still be there. You could argue that some of those 1 to 2s might still be there, so we should be fine with that one. Let's take a look if they are there, and yeah, one of those DTs is there too. McCullough looks really good too, don't get me wrong. And I honestly argue that he might be higher potential for dev, but I'm going to take the guy that says round 1. That's at least a 73 overall, and that's good enough for me. 16 true, and no, he is actually hidden, so fair enough. I don't think we'll trade up because I still need more linemen, but I will evaluate our defensive tackle position, see how good that rookie looked from last year. Yeah, he's not great. He's definitely not great, but I just don't think we have the draft capital for it. All right, we're at the end of the second round, and we get a guy that I think looks like he could be the replacement for Walker Little. I'm going to be so disappointed if he's normal dev, though. Well, we're disappointed. We have 2/3, and I kind of just went all the way down here. I don't care. I'm going to take another guy. He's a 3 to 4, but I'm telling you, these 3 to 4s, they have a higher chance of hitting. They just do. They just do. It's so disappointing. We also need a linebacker, which I completely forgot about. I kind of crashed out about the guy being normal dev and just forgot we needed a linebacker. So there's that. Luke Hopkins. We're just going all O-line and 1 DT, and that's the draft. We end up trading for one of the guys on the trade block. Anton Harrison, a 4th and a 5th for Saxton, a 22-year-old star dev, 72 overall linebacker from the Eagles. We're going to take Pierre Dunn in the 5th round. Really fast player. 117 true. Hidden dev. I would not have expected him to be hidden dev. Just from that left side, I was kind of feeling, 428, I was thinking normal dev for sure. It's usually the guys that are higher than 97 speed that are hidden. But no, he's hidden dev. We've got ourselves a new slot wide receiver. Sweet. And screw it, we'll take Billups as well. Orlando Billups. 30 true talent. Normal dev. He looked like one of those, not so great normal dev agile guys, and that's seemingly exactly what he is. Looking at the draft recap, we did end up with a bunch of 70-plus overalls, but that lineman being normal definitely hurt us, because we would have had a linebacker probably. Ooh, look at that block shed. Really strong as well. 285, that's a weird build. Like, he's a super strong block shedding type at 285. Yeah, we probably would have had a linebacker legitimately instead of, having to trade for one. But, yeah, we just doubled down on linemen. We need linemen. It just sucks that Griffin, who's like, the halfway decent overall, is the one that's normal dev, whereas the other guy's probably going to be like a 70 overall left tackle, Lonnie Carrington. I mean, unless he's superstar dev, this is a guy that's going to take a while to develop. And I don't know if I want to start him right away if I know he's going to suck. And he is only star development trade, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's a tough beat. Of course, Pierre Dunn, probably you're looking at a superstar dev. Very good deep route, deep threat type of receiver. Dev for this man is, in fact, superstar. All right, we've changed the playbook. We have still not a perfect offensive line. I think Carrington, I think you have to start him, dude. You're just not going to develop him as a backup. And I don't care what his overall is. If you want to develop, they got to start. Dunn's our number 3 because he's a superstar. And, I mean, the team is pretty good on offense, even though they didn't really play like that in the playoffs. And then defensively, brand new DT1. He's a 77 overall at DT. And really, I think the worry going forward is, can we afford Lloyd? And the answer is probably no. A lot of money, which means a lot of problems. That's not great, but it's not terrible. I think we probably do a 2-year 41. Brenton Strange, he's actually a lot higher of an overall than I ever thought he'd be. A 5-year 52.5 is A-okay to me, especially with this Chiefs scheme we're running. There should have some pretty good numbers. Think we're going to replace Ezra Cleveland as well. Get a lot of money for now, but, Brian Thomas and all those guys are going to come up, and that's when problems will arise. I also probably should have started Parker Washington at some point, but that ship has sailed. We clutched up at the end of the season, automatically in the playoffs, and honestly, almost a bye week, as the Ravens were 13-4. We were the 4th seed with 2 other teams at 12-5, but still it could have been anyone's number 1 seed. This year, though, a lot better, as the 7th seed was 10-7. We had 2 teams make it at 8-9 some years back. Pretty vast difference there. As far as our, season, once again, couple wins, couple losses, couple wins, and then right at the end of the season, a lot more wins than a couple of losses. A lot more losses right in the first half of the season. We're like 4-3 at one point. Trevor Lawrence, 45 touchdowns, 14 picks, 4,600 yards. It really is kind of hard to do a rebuild. You know that? Because it's like, you have a playbook that sucks. And in your back pocket, there's a very good chance you run a specific playbook or two. There's a couple of them. And they're going to be halfway decent. It's like, how do you not go to that? And wow, the rushing numbers are terrible, by the way. Looking at the receiving numbers, though, Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., Dunn even, Strange, all very good seasons there. Blocking wasn't the best. Carrington, though, 11 sacks for a 70 overall is not the worst we've seen. If Trayvon Walker doesn't go to superstar this time, I am forcing the dev. I do not care. 21 sacks is crazy. Hines Allen, 13.5. DTs, though, not great. Although Devine had 16 tackles for loss. Could have won Rookie of the Year, at least maybe a straight-up dev up from those tackles for loss, potentially. Luakon 4 picks, 3 for Campbell and Hunter, 1 for Lloyd, Ransaw, Lewis, and Ross. Kicking, we missed 3 kicks out of 23, which is, I mean, he's done really well. Logan Cook, also very good. And then, return specialist, no touchdowns. Offensive yards look good. The MVP, Lawrence at 7, but another one for Mahomes nonetheless. Rookie awards, number 3. That's pretty good for a guy with only 1 sack, right? That's not what I meant at all, but sure. But yeah, should, or at least have a chance to go up in dev just on those tackles for a loss alone. But here we are against the Colts. First round, we made it to the championship before. Sort of gave the Chiefs a run for their money, right? They were kind of cooking us, then we dialed it back in, and we were literally like 3 inches away from tying the game up or going for 2 on the buzzer beater. All right, going to the end of the game. 7-0. Not a bad start. We're getting the stops going against our division rival, of course. 7-7. Man, what is going on? Huge touchdown there. Just the offense, no matter what the scheme is, they can't finish drives. They get down the field with ease, and they just don't score. As yet again, it just keeps happening, and there, it's just more for the same. Defense carries the game. We barely win, despite having some insane weapons. Lawrence was pretty good, especially considering 3 picks from Richardson. Makes us look way better. Etienne was solid. Taylor was solid, just didn't have enough volume. Thomas, great numbers. Warren was obviously pretty good for them. 2 sacks for Trayvon Walker, who's really just come alive. Have changed nothing. Nothing has changed on the defensive line. Nothing has changed schematically. He's just playing better now because he's a higher overall. 3 interceptions for us, 1 for them. Clean kicking. And a trip to the divisional round. Divisional round. The Ravens. Not a team you would love to see, but it's better than the Chiefs. I think. Those are very conflicting, I think. Maybe the most conflicting I've ever heard. Dallas and Green Bay. Kansas City and Buffalo. I mean, that's not really great for us, but at the same time, will it matter? Because we have to beat the Ravens. Doing a good job here. Huge drive, no score. Could have really put a, damper on their plans. We're down 7 now, and just, again, I mean, yes, we score the touchdown there, but barely. Our offense is just struggling to finish drives. Huge stop there. They throw a pick. Touchdown's going to put in a really bad spot. 4th and 8. They get 7 yards, and our season is over. 40-27. The offense not doing well. The defense doing arguably worse. It's hard to say because there were some turnovers in there, and one of those turnovers really set them up, like inside the 20 or something like that. Lamar Jackson, arguably outplayed by Trevor Lawrence because of the completion percentage, but Lamar Jackson won. Doesn't matter. They won. We didn't. Disappointing stuff. Back to the drawing board as we head on to Season 4. And the Ravens do beat whoever the hell it was. It was either the Bills or the Chiefs. Either one is obviously a tough competitor. And then they get smoked by the Eagles, who, once again, it puts us in a spot of, so how good even were we? We got sort of cooked by a team that got cooked, Looking at our dev ups, Trevor Lawrence goes to superstar, which is massive. 90 overall, superstar dev now. That's huge. It's obviously massive. And then, of course, Brenton Strange goes up to superstar as well. 85 overall. It's been the same overall pretty much all season long, but that's fine because he is pretty solid. That contract we got, very good. Deep route kind of sucks, but everything else is pretty damn good if you ask me. Deep route, who cares? It's a tight end. You're not going to have time to throw to a tight end deep anyways. Pass rush, once again, really? 21 sack. Okay, I'm going to force it, dude. I'm sorry, but I have to. If he has an under double-digit season, sack season next year, I'll drop it down again. I don't care. But, brother, 21 sacks and you're not a superstar? You could be the luckiest man alive and you're getting superstar dev in the next Madden, Like, what do you mean? Then he had 12 before that, so it's like there's clearly a trend of like, okay, he had a double-digiter before, but then he fell off. So we'll give him a chance to see, is he actually the real deal? One more season, he'll get that shot. No, 21. He didn't look back, right? He did not mess around. He's that guy. Carrington, as an actual starter, went up about 7 or 8 overall, so worthy starter there. Little, still getting a lot of money, so I'm not sure if we can even trade him off, but defensively, Saxon still, star dev. Lloyd, we end up getting that 2-year 41, I believe. Strong safety, he's not really progressing much, and Ransaw's been kind of locked in around that 78 to 80, 81 overall margin, and it kind of sucks there, but it's just the safety position. We have the regression at 50% because of those prime regressions, regressing in their prime, even at speed, mind you, and just the overall lack of developing anyways. But Divine, 84 overall. What a year. I guess those tackles for a loss really did mean something, but unfortunately not good enough for a dev up. I really wonder how close he was because I imagine it was pretty close. We are in free agency. We let the guard go. Unfortunately, though, I don't necessarily see a guard for us to steal. Could end up going if we really wanted to with Ezra Cleveland. Could also put O'Neal at left guard. I know he's tall, but he's also insanely athletic. We obviously could use a safety. I just don't know. I mean, I'll offer a 1-year deal. I just don't think we can do the long-term contracts, right? I get it why he wants more than a 1-year deal, but for us personally, it's just not going to work out. Stanley would be cool, but I kind of like what we're building at that tackle spot. And then guard, I guess, once again, a 1-year deal. I'm down to do 1-year deals, but even though it looks like we have a lot of money now, that money will disappear. So I'm not willing to kind of risk that. Could go linebacker, cutting corners. I mean, I'm willing to throw 1-year deals around because at the end of the day, no matter what, they're not going to crush me. Because if it's a contract that kind of screws me over for the future, well, I don't have to worry because I'll just not re-sign them once their contract is up. So we'll do a 1-year deal worth 13, maybe even bump it enough to actually compete for this contract with the Falcons. And, we'll see if we get him. My guess, however, though, is at best we get O'Neal. But we'll see. You never know. Yeah, we never know because we might not even get O'Neal. We get Simpson, 1 year 15, but we don't get O'Neal. That's definitely unexpected. That's not what I expected at all. The Falcons are like, yeah, well, we stole Linderbaum, so suck one. And they got Tyreek Hill. All right, we are in the draft with pick 27. We scouted some other guys, defensive tackle, a defensive end as well. All of them are 1 to 2, so if you want to go that route, definitely some options. Corner's also an option. This is more of like we probably need a safety more than a corner, but corners are more commonly hidden. Like this guy looks way better than any of the safeties we have available. Is he a free safety for us? Ransaw Strong? Maybe, I guess. We're just going to take him. Yeah, number 2 overall. He looked great, and he is hidden. I don't know what to do with him. It's just at this point, I'm kind of in the business of just, taking good players, right? Just whoever's a good player, we're going to take him. Then we move on to the second round where you still have a safety as well. You could go crazy and just take everybody. Why not? I'm going to do it. Screw it. I'm taking Harold Nails. 9 true talent. Also hidden dev. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with all these players, but they look good. I took them. I got lucky with some devs. So be it. I mean, the corner I'm not really too worried about. I expected normal devs, 77, 78 overall, just based on the A to B man and zone. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really pushed. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, should I have done what I've done? Do I not need O-line? Sort of, right? I could use hidden dev linemen, but the linemen aren't great anyways. So, who cares? We're going to go down until Howard or Minor is the last one remaining. I don't even know if I start one of them because the other DT that's been normal forever, he's like an 80 overall now, and we're in year 4. I don't think, unless I get a guy that wins Rookie of the Year at DT, that I'm going to get somebody that's going to be better than that guy, right, in 2 seasons' time because we're doing 5 years. We made the championship round. We've done some damage in the divisional, and at this point, it's all about just RNG. We have a good team. If they're not going to give it to us, there's not really much you can do, whether we have another 5, another 10, another 15 years. We trade 2/5 to move up. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a trade-up. I figured we were going to take more than that, so I put that on there, but apparently not. We're going to be taking the defensive tackle, Joshua Minor. Probably should show you actually what he looks like, but, your run-of-the-mill, A-finesse, fast type of DT. If he's hidden, he will start. 29 true. Oh, no. Oh, that sucks, dude. I mean, that's basically a completely wasted pick. Unless we just say F it and just try for Rookie of the Year again. I'm going to trade up with the Giants for Seth Foster and probably just call it a draft because it's going to take us pretty much all of our picks this year to get this. They let us keep one of our 7th-round picks. That's pretty cool. Seth Foster, I'm not sure how this guy helps us unless he's hidden, which he is. I don't know. We'll put him somewhere, I guess. We had a hidden dev lineman last year that wasn't starting, so there's got to be a way we can move the lineup around to get 5 hidden or 5 of our best players in the lineup. So we'll see what happens there with this final pick. I guess we'll go back to the fullback because our last fullback we drafted was okay but not great. If I had a bet on someone here, I actually don't know what I would say. I guess Mooney. True talent 80. Normal up. All right, what we cooking up here? 78 overall cornerback. Tremaine Mitchell. He's very small. He's like a slot type corner, but I could easily see him playing boundary. Just barely. And I could see him playing free safety. Oh my god, that's insane. That is crazy. Harold Nails now 75 overall. We're gonna have to start him, right? We have no choice. Nails, I don't know what to do with him. I really don't. Like, do we replace both of our... I'm like, Ransaw doesn't deserve to be replaced, though, whereas, you know, Campbell, sort of, maybe. Also, 74 overall, I can make the argument. I thought he was going to be like 71, 72. Yeah, that's a really good finesse. He's a good player. I'm going to try to win Rookie of the Year with him. See if we get lucky, and then Foster, he's low overall. Who cares? We are now in Season 4, and honestly, the hugest weak point is still that offensive line. I will say baseline, though, we're pretty much an 80 overall across the board. That's, in theory, about top 15, right? Right at the end of top 15, but it's top 15 overall, I would say. Let's say what does an 82 overall right tackle get you these days? 16th. So you would assume 16th to 20. Obviously, not every team is going to have 16 to 20 across the line. Some better, some worse. 19th at an 80 overall. So I would say it's safe to say about 15, right? That's kind of how averages work. Of course, quarterback, running back, wide receivers, tight end, they're all great. They all look great. 90 overall for, the two wide receivers, 90 overall plus for, the running back and quarterback as well. And then the tight end's an 85 overall, maybe 87, 88 by the end of the year. For, wide receiver of 3, he went up quite a bit, and he'll continue to go up. Linebacker Trenton Simpson joins the squad, moving Aluakon to the outside linebacker spot as we're trying to phase him out. Not that I want to, but the regression's doing it for me, unfortunately. Campbell is going to be our starting for strong safety still over Nails, and Mitchell's going to play in the slot corner role for now until we see what we want to do with him. I think the guys at safety are right now decent enough, and Mitchell, with that X factor, is going to develop no matter where he plays. So we're going to still try to give these guys a chance to maybe get a dev up. Who knows? DT, Divine looks great. Minor, we're hoping he wins Rookie of the Year. I still think this team is a better than 88 overall roster, but it's still, even as an 88, good enough to make the playoffs and maybe make a run. Well, that's pretty neat. Trayvon Walker is an X factor. We'll take that. And as you can see, this is where it gets real. I didn't really think about how we want to do this because you basically have to pay 2 players. Yeah. So I think we re-sign wide receiver. Do we even have him at the same age? By that, it's kind of... Okay, we did. Okay. We're going to try to pay wide receiver Travis Hunter, and then if we get that contract, we're just going to make the other one basically $1 million a year. Damn. Okay, so he wants a lot of money. Brian Thomas, also wanting a lot of money. I love when the interest is red. Super fun. 6-year, $150. That's a lot of money. $72 million left. Trenton Simpson, Ransaw. Ransaw is going to get a contract. Tootin, I don't know. Millum, yes. Aluakon, definitely not. And while we're broke, I think we'll live. Hopefully. And I think even Cam Little, unless he's just having another amazing year, we probably got to let him go too. Damn it, he's having another amazing year. I can't let him go. But $6 million per year. I'll do a 2-year deal. That's literally 6 per. Oh my. Maybe a tag. I don't know, dude. That's a lot of money. All right, we ended up doing a 4-year 132, which after re-signing guys like Ransaw and Trenton Simpson, we did a 2-year for Trenton, 4-year for Ransaw, 4-year for Millum. Leaves us with $44 million. I don't know who else you have to pay. I think, technically Lawrence is already contracted. So, I don't know. We might just be fine because we didn't have to pay, like, Trayvon Walker that much. But, yeah, we're going to also let the kicker go because he's just asking for too much. I can't pay that much for a freaking special teamer. But, yeah, we're going to force the contract of Travis Hunter to be just extended on basically $1 million per year because, we're making the argument that he's one player, obviously. So we're tied with 2 other teams for 12-4, but unfortunately we don't have the tiebreaker. We are still the number 3 seed, but it could be worse. The Colts are number 5 while also being 13-4. A bunch of 13-4 teams this year, 4 of them, which is kind of wild. Let's take a look at the numbers after we take a look at the win-loss. As, of course, another really, really good season. Need a couple losses there at the end. All we need is one more win. We'd had a freaking bye week. What a disaster. But Trevor Lawrence, obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the league this season. Maybe too many interceptions to actually win MVP. But who knows? Travis Etienne, just under 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 4 yards per carry. It's a good season, not a great one. Brian Thomas, that should be superstar. Hunter was great. Dunn was great. Strange was great. O-line was pretty good for Madden. Pass rush, Trayvon Walker has been the better of the 2. Lately, Minor wins Rookie of the Year. Okay, Divine, Devine with 6. Of course, looking at Hines Allen, he actually played 10 more snaps than Trayvon, so there's nothing like special going on here. Trayvon's just, finally getting good, if you will. Cam Little misses 5 kicks, one of them blocked. Just like we're going to block his number from all those declining of the contract. I'm sick of them. Cook, 52 yards for a punt, but it's a punter. So, I mean, if we got to save money, let it be the special teamers where we'd be paying like 10 plus mil per year for them too, where I can get like 2 other guys for 3 mil per year. And also, those picks, that bad to make him 8th in MVP. Are they on drugs? These voters, take away the votes, would you? Defensive Player of the Year, we had 3 guys in the top 10. One of them minor. He's on the list. Obviously, he's going to win Rookie of the Year. QB at 6. Running back at nowhere. No, that's not true. Number 4. Wide receiver at number 4. A little surprised not to see another one up there. O-line at number 10. Looking at the best D-line, number 1, 3, and 6. Beautiful stuff. Linebacker, no. DB at number 3 and 6. Best kicker at number 5. Unfortunately, like we talked about, no bye week, but still the Raiders. I'm not saying this is an easy win, but a game where if I had a bet, I'd say we'd win, right? I'd like our odds. On to the divisional round, taking on the Colts. They're going to be so pissed at us because we took the division. Please don't be mad, Colts. You can have it next year. We'll take it this year. That's fine. I think that's a good trade. Going to the end of the game, we get a stop. We get a score. The teams are missing extra points. There's nothing special going on here unless we're just like the greatest kick blockers of all time. Huge drive before half. Don't get a score. 24-9 at half. Defense is killing it. Offense is doing better than usual, in fairness, but 30-9, 37-9, that's the defense, dude. That is the defense going full on elite mode. 37-9, and it really didn't feel like that kind of a blowout game, right? It was just the defense wore them down. Our defense being good, taking the ball away, short fields, getting off the field quickly, wore their defense down. I'm not giving the credit to the offense. I don't care that they had 4 touchdowns. I don't care. It's the defense. They did it. Of course, the D-line was amazing. Nails and Campbell with picks apiece. They missed an extra point. We see that back-to-back games now. The championship round where we know for a fact the Chiefs aren't there. I'm hoping it's not the Ravens. And honestly, at this point, I don't know if I hope it's the Jets. I think it has to be something. It's got to be either like Jets, Ravens, maybe Bengals, something like that. Who is it going to be? It's the Bills. I forgot about those guys. That's not good. They beat the Jets by 3. And then they beat, who the hell? Yeah, they didn't even have a game. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, this is, can we see if, maybe the Bills got lucky? Probably not, right? Oops, wrong one. 3-point game. No, they outplayed them. If the Jets can beat the Chiefs and the Bills can beat the Jets, that means the Bills can beat us. And I don't like that. All right, it's our second time in the championship round. Can we win a Super Bowl? Can we even get to a Super Bowl, I suppose? 10-0. I'm not going to say any words because, I see a trend. And I don't want to mention anything about a trend because then it'll jinx it. And, yeah, it's not over. All right, we can jinx it. The defense cooked again. The Bills climb back. I'll give some credit to the offense because the defense did start to fall apart a little bit there. The offense continued to score, though, when it mattered most. And when it was like the second half, they actually woke up, right? 21 points in the second half, more points in the first half, and they had a pretty big lead. Usually you see teams kind of coast after a lead like that. No. This team did not mess around. Both quarterbacks were great, but Lawrence was a little bit better. He was more efficient, got the ball down the field better. ETN was great. When you consider the 70-yarder, you take the 70-yarder away, it's like a 12 for 44 game, which is not the best. Shakir and Thomas both having almost the same game, but Thomas obviously doing it a lot less catches. That's the big difference in this game is the big plays. 75-yard catch for a touchdown, 70-yard run for a touchdown. That just hurts the other team's morale so much. Trayvon Walker, 2 sacks. Rousseau with 2 sacks. Divine with 1. 0 picks. 0 missed kicks for the first time so far, at least the games we've been in. On to the Super Bowl. Who is it against? Anyone but really, the Cowboys? The Eagles, too. They're a tough team. Who did the Philadelphia Eagles beat to get there? Obviously, they had to play in the wildcard round. They took on the Niners. They crushed them by 28. Then they took on the Cowboys. Then they beat them by 3. Then they played the Giants. They beat them by 11. Basically every, game was, they were kind of scoring similarly to us. Not really, actually. Blood loves the yap. Not at all. There's like one game that is like almost similar, but yeah, not quite. I'll call it out. It ain't true. Of course, looking at the DevUps, Trevor Lawrence is an X factor now. Didn't really go up much in overall, but it's kind of hard to go up when you're already in the 90s and you're 27 years old, but X factor is always welcome. Brenton Strange, did he get to a 90? He did not. 88. We said 87, 88, so he on the higher part. We'll take that. Dev up to X factor. Chief scheme is always going to cook, especially for the tight ends. No one else got a dev up, unfortunately. Even Davidson, still normal dev, but still a high overall. Defensively, we already knew about Walker. Mitchell, we already knew about, actually. He just was hidden, so it's kind of, it looks new, but it's not. And then Minor, of course, from normal dev all the way to superstar, he's an 87 overall. That was like the one position we needed to upgrade, and there you have it. All right, we haven't beat by 2 overalls, but they still have what seems to be pretty much their entire roster intact. It's also a rainy game, mind you. Crazy back and forth here. Offense, you know, when we need them the most, they're delivering right now. Up by 11. Eagles going to get a touchdown there. We got an, oh man, 8-point lead from the 0-2. Is that our ball? It is. Keep this ball on our side, and they lose the game. 4th and inches, you got to go for this, I think. I get it. They haven't been flawless. You're really going to run the ball against the freaking Eagles, though? ETN, just cook for us, please. And he does. Oh, he cooks more than ever as he's going to score. McFarland is slow as hell. Into the end zone for a touchdown and potentially the game winner. And honestly, that felt... Wait, did we go for 2? We just went for an extra point. That kind of felt like rookie, no? Bro, why? Why is it on rookie? I'm going to have to give him a touchdown and then, I don't even know, punt the ball? I have no idea. Like, that felt weird. I was like, ETN's fast, and I don't know who that McFarland guy is, but that felt like wide open. I mean, it's really sucked. We actually got screwed there, to be honest, because 4th and inches, 9 times out of 10. There's no way they don't... Brother. I know difficulty doesn't affect sim itself, but obviously when you're out on the field, it does. Stop. Is he... Thank you. I was about to say, you for real? Even this is kind of like helping us because they're wasting clock. I don't understand why it's on freaking rookie difficulty, but I could feel it almost instantly. I don't know why it did that. 4th and 6. They're going to get the conversion. It's not over. And you obviously know that I want to go out and watch this final play because it's a Hail Mary. And they don't get it. We win the game 38-30. I don't have a save file, but I kind of want to save and like sim again. You know what? I don't care. We won. We won a Super Bowl. Obviously, the difficulty doesn't affect sim because we'd have won every single Super Bowl, right? You know, if rookie is actually affecting sim, we would have won all the Super Bowls. Because trust me, rookie difficulty is so freaking easy. It's unbelievable. That's why it felt so easy, because it was. I even had the half the mind to check, and yeah, sure be it. So be it. Rookie difficulty. That kind of hurts my feelings a little bit, though, because it kind of ruins it. Like, we didn't even need that. It actually, once again, hurt us. Because it was 4th and inches. We would have got that every day of the week, 9 times out of 10. Probably 99 times out of 100, to be honest. Yeah, and our one highlight is a freaking big run against the freaking AI on rookie. Rookie's so bad that they can't even get the ball off on a field goal block. Even the second time, we didn't even get that good of a rush, and I still had to pull the damn team off. Either way, though, let's look at the numbers. I don't really care. A win is a win, if you ask me. Thomas, 3 touchdowns, 137 yards. You know what? I'm going to sim it again. I'm going to call it a Super Bowl win, but I'm going to sim it again just to see. Going to the end of the game with the reset. We're on all Madden. 3-0. Drive back for 3. Another 3 for the Eagles. We get a 7-pointer. 10-6. 17-6. Halftime. 24-6. 31-6. 31-13. 38-13. And it seems like on all Madden, we actually cooked them even harder. I mean, we already just seen this, so I don't really need to see it again. But you know what? I can't even show you. I should have looked. Can't even show you it's on all freaking Madden. Whatever, dude. Who cares? We just won 2 Super Bowls. I don't care what anyone says. Dynasty, 2 Super Bowls, baby. It's not how it works, but that's your Jacksonville Jaguars rebuild. A success. Multiple, playoff runs. A couple wins in there. Obviously, 2 championship runs. One with an actual title, but 2 championship round visits for the Jaguars. Pretty good. Show you guys the... actually, does it reset? I'm not even sure if it'll show you that we only played once. It might say 1. Well, so there's not even a point in me showing this then, huh? Because like I could literally just force code every time or something and it wouldn't even show it. Sweet. Fantastic. But here we are, looking at the adjust lineup. Take a look at this team. We already looked at Lawrence. Did we actually? No, I don't think we did. We looked at his dev. Deep accuracy, 92. Medium and short are amazing. Throw power is solid. Everything else is great. Speedy. Very good quarterback one, obviously. I mean, we would have expected it. Remember when he used to be superstar in like low 80s, high 70s? Yeah, that would have been even better. Brennan Strange, not the fastest guy in the world, but insane at getting open. Really good catching, and even his run blocks come around a little bit. Obviously a true number 1 tight end. Overall-wise, though, probably not even close to the top 10. Looking at the O-line, don't really care too much about these guys, but Millam, he's a real-life player of theirs. Not a great finesse guy, but really good at power blocking, so the move to guard, I guess, it's a good one, I suppose. Looking at Travis Hunter now, the wide receiver Travis Hunter, 95 overall. Short route's not the best, which, you kind of want that to be the good one. Medium and deep route, obviously amazing. Catching's great. Release is great. Obviously elusive. Super jukey. Spin move's amazing. Even his kick return's good. 96 change direction. I wonder which Travis Hunter was actually returning kicks. I don't think it really matters too much. Also, I didn't even notice it, but Brian Thomas just doesn't go up in dev from 20 touchdowns. Excuse me? This team also is just horrible at short routes. Well, not horrible, but they're obviously way better at everything else than that. Then we have Dunn, who is now an 82 overall, super speedy. I mean, another guy that's just deep threat every day of the week. Trevor Lawrence just have to chuck the ball up every play, apparently. ETN, really, good juke move. Very fast, obviously. And that obviously concludes the offense. Defense pisses me off so much every time you got to click over and then switch, and it's just a disaster. Ransaw, though, the move to safety seems to be a pretty good one. He's 25 years old now and plenty of years left. 25, or is he about to be 26? I don't even know, actually. But Tyson Campbell, can't say the move to safety really did much for him, but obviously looking on paper, besides the block shed and I suppose hit power, if that matters to you, he does look like a really good safety, right? That zone coverage is insane, but block shed, especially for a strong safety, does kind of play a pretty big factor. 90 overall for Devin Lloyd, who just never went up in dev. Really good block shed. Of course, the one guy that doesn't go up in dev literally has it in his name, but coverage is obviously terrible. We'd already talked about that before this rebuild even started. Near the line of scrimmage, on the line of scrimmage type things, goated. Then we, of course, look at Trenton Simpson, 86 overall. Cut the corner a little bit at linebacker. Not a whole lot of coverage for the linebacker position on this team. And obviously, Lewicon's not going to look that great either because he's regressed. So no point in really even looking at him. He starts off higher than that. Travis Hunter, cornerback, started as a higher overall, ends up lower. Who would have thought? Zone coverage, not really comparable to the offensive version. Offensive version is like basically perfect across the board, whereas this Travis Hunter does have some weaknesses, but not that many, right? Tackling, one of his weaknesses, but 78 tackle for a corner is great. He does look really good, actually. His zone's not even that bad. Then we, of course, look at the other side where we do see Mr. Ross. I mean, we had some pretty good luck with corners in this one. Juan Ross, very good press man corner. I mean, I don't even know if I would say arguably, might just straight up be better than Travis Hunter, and I kept him at number 45. That alone should have been enough for him to just flop, right? He should have been a horrible corner. Mitchell, the rookie, I mean, there's probably nothing better than in the world than winning a freaking Super Bowl as like an actual contributing rookie. I guess it's just in general. If you're one of the 53, you're automatically technically contributing, right? Like, even if you don't go on the field, if you're like a decent backup that doesn't get to play, you sort of give a little peace of mind to the guy in front of you, right? Because they're like, well, if I go down, at least we're not completely screwed. So, I mean, that tiny bit sort of kind of helps. I don't even know if those guys care, or if they're like, please don't get hurt. I don't want this guy to steal my job. I don't know, but obviously a rookie minor. He was very good. Very good. Just very young. Hence the name, of course, I guess. Don't know where we're going with that. Devine, 87 overall. I thought he glowed up quick, which, to be fair, he did. But then you look over at minor, and you're like, oh, that guy's goated. Regardless, though, that is going to be it for this weird ending, but Super Bowl successful rebuild of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Once again, if you guys enjoyed this one, leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I appreciate getting support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. We've been playing Oblivion, and we uploaded part, I think, 7 yesterday. So check that out. Let me know what team you want to see next, and regardless, hopefully come back for next video. But until next video, see ya. And again, shout out to all the members of the channel. Appreciate you guys a ton. If you're not already a member, thinking about becoming one, click the join button next to the subscribe button. All the details will be in there. And of course, the 15th of every month, we do a members only rebuild. Usually some sort of kind of, I wouldn't say wacky, but more challenge-based rebuild. So it doesn't feel very like, oh, well, that's kind of unfair to hide content behind a paywall, which, to be fair, a lot of people do that. And they do a lot of it across the board. Maybe not so much in the Madden community, but other communities of YouTube, I see some things. But let me know what you would want to see next. If you're a member, not a member, whatever, for one of those types of challenge-type rebuilds. Regardless, remember, I appreciate y'all for watching, and